Your boy T is the name, and getting grippy is the game. Today we're gonna be talking about this guy that went to court because he had a suspended license in Michigan, and then showed up to court on Zoom while driving. And it's like, it's so silly because it's like, you got your license suspended, and then you still chose to drive. Now his reasoning for driving was because his wife needed to go to the doctors. Why didn't you just let your wife drive? I don't know, she got her license suspended too, but why didn't you just let your wife drive? I mean, that just make more sense to me. And the reason he got his license suspended is because of unpaid child support, which I find stupid. Granted, he wasn't paying the child support, but at the same time, how do you expect somebody to make money to pay the child support if they ain't got any type of transportation? Yeah, they can get people to take them places, they can get a taxi, but they ain't reliable. How you expect this person to make money? He probably ain't gonna pay it. He said if their child support, but still, I mean, how is he gonna pay the child support? Yeah, I'm just gonna play this court case because it's just funny, like everybody's reaction. It's just such a silly thing. I want somebody to add edits of just laughing tracks in the background because it had me dying when I first seen this video. I'm just like, bro, even the judge laughing at it. Dang, that's how you know it's silly. The judge was like, man, never in my 40 years of life have I ever seen something like this.
Public Defender Natalie Tate for Mr. Harris, who should be present via Zoom.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
Wait. You stationary?
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks that the court would allow.
So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended,
That is correct, Your Honor.
and he was just driving, and he didn't have a license.
Is with the charges, Your Honor, yes.
No, I'm looking at his
Yes.
record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
I don't even know why he would do that. So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is to turn himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
I guess you can't speak out of turn at a court case because it's like a respect thing, you know, your honor and everything like that. But there was some information that came out after this court case video because it was a silly video. Everybody was laughing at the guy, rightfully so, because it's just too silly. But apparently in the 2010s, as I said before, he got his license taken away because of unpaid child support. Pay y'all child support, guys. Or, you know what? Just don't do it at all. Just use protection, okay? Do something. All right. Some of y'all be free balling and it ain't cool because when you got paid child support, y'all gonna be looking like a fool. So in 2022, his suspension got lifted, so he was able to get his license. However, apparently this whole time he's never had a license in the state of Michigan or any of the other 49 states. So apparently he's been getting a ID, just like a regular state giving an ID, and he was thinking it was a license, but this whole time it was not a license, which I just don't understand how that worked. I mean, you know, whatever. I don't understand as a grown man how you don't have a license. That's one of the things you just kind of get. I mean, you can't even act like you didn't know you needed a license. You too old to not know. Okay, you was way too old not to know you didn't have a license. You can look at your ID. So before this information that I just read to you came out, there was some other information that came out saying that Detroit's WXYZ TV says it took less than 5 minutes to search Saginaw County records to see that in January 22nd, a judge had re-signed the order that suspended Harris's driver's license so he could be reinstated. That judge's order was reportedly not properly communicated to the state secretary of state's office. Indeed, Harris, who called the situation very embarrassing, told the television station that his suspicion was supposed to have been lifted 2 years ago, but they did it. But the suspicion was lifted. The problem was he never went through the proper channels to actually get his license. He's never had a license. As the judge said, dude never had a license. The guy knew that he didn't have a license, so he got pulled over in 2022. And the officer asked him, "Hey, did you know you don't have a valid driver's license?" He said, "Yeah, I know." He knew he didn't have a valid driver's license. And then a news station asked him some questions saying, "Hey, at the time time, what did you have? Did you know if you had a license or an ID? And he says, I think I had a permit. And he, and then he was like, I really don't remember, but whatever. So he snitched on himself. You should have played the fifth, my guy. Like, should have asked for a lawyer before. And honestly, you got the wrong lawyers, because you should have got them O.J. Simpson lawyers, because lady ain't doing her job. You should have got away with it. This is all I'm trying to say.
Suspension, but that's not all.
He has never had a Michigan license. Ever.
We asked Harris yesterday if he ever had a valid driver's license. He claimed he didn't remember. Do you ever recall having one? Having a driver's license?
I knew I had a permit. I knew that.
A driver's permit, or?
I believe. I don't know. I can't say yes and I can't say no.
And that's odd, because the Pittsfield Township police officer and prosecutor said during that October traffic stop, Corey Harris knew what was up.
At least twice during this traffic stop, he acknowledged to the officer that he did not have a valid license. Quote unquote, quote, actually, I don't have a valid license. Close quote. The question was, are you a valid driver? Quote, I am not.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
And on top of that, the judge knew he was lying. It says the judge said Harris indicated in response to a question out of court that he was bedridden because of an accident and couldn't get to the Secretary of State's office during this time. The judge said that's not true. Simpson said before asking Harris Wednesday where he was on December 28th. Harris told the judge that he was laid up in the bed. The judge says you were at the Secretary of State's office. Simpson shot back. Harris was renewing his Michigan State ID, Simpson said. The judge said he knew Harris has never had a driver's license because records show he religiously every year renewed his state ID at the Secretary of State's office. And in Michigan, a resident can't hold both a license and the ID. And if he was just truthful and just honest with himself and say, hey, this is what happened, then they would have just helped him. And he would not have gotten caught up in all this malarkey they was in. If you were just honest up front, he would not be in this. Now, guys, this should tell you, pay your child support, okay? Pay your child support. Don't have kids at all. Don't raw dog. Pay your child support so you don't be like this. I do find that crazy that you get your license taken away from you if you're not paying your child support. Pay your child support. You're supposed to. But at the same time, if you don't want to pay your child support, what you nutting the people for? If you can't pay your child support, don't do that. And the judge admitted that the process can be complicated. It says Bernander said that normally the defendant would have been notified that their suspension was eligible to be lifted and that they should report to the friend of the court. In most cases, they would have to pay a fine and receive a release form that they would then have to bring to the Secretary of State's office within 10 days to get a suspicion removed from their record. The state of Michigan has no record of Harris doing this, Bernardo said, adding that it is not and has never been the responsibility of the friend of the court to transmit those records to the Secretary of State. Simpson said the friend of the court did nothing wrong in Harris's case. Simpson also said that because Harris didn't do what he was supposed to do, the friend of the court has no obligation to say anything on his behalf to the Secretary of State. Simpson added that pointing fingers at the Secretary of State also is proper in this case because they did what they were supposed to do. So dude just didn't do what he was supposed to do. And even if you didn't know the steps you were supposed to take to get this stuff done, you could have asked. That's why your parents tell you ask if you don't know what to do.
Let me make it very clear, based upon what the court looked at, he has never had a Michigan license, ever. And has never had a license in the other 49 states and commonwealths that form up this great union. He has never had a license.
But how do we go forward? And that's why I'm here to sort of minimize. You okay? Can he did get into an accident. May he sit down? May he please, Your Honor?
Clear. Part of the reason I'm also doing this is because I think he was warned and released, didn't take care of it. And secondly, this has been out there for 9 years.
Well, I did not know about it, Your Honor. Okay.
Counsel, there is not a doubt in my mind that that's true. I know.
Okay.
We'll see you in August.
Okay,
the
thank you.
is remanded on the Allen Park warrant. So go on the mail.
Now, as you see, he got caught out by an officer, and the reason he got caught out, if you couldn't hear, is because he had a bench warrant against him for about 9 years. And what a bench warrant is, it pretty much authorizes law enforcement to arrest an individual for failing to appear on a court date, pay a court fine, or follow another court instruction. So whatever he had that he was supposed to do, he just did not do it, and that's why he's getting held because of that. So he was pretty much free for the whole like ID thing, but he got arrested because of something he did in the past. It's for driving with his license suspended that he didn't take care of. So he got a bench warrant for something he getting caught up with again. Simpson said he decided to hold Harris on his warrant since he neglected to take care of it for nearly a decade. If the Allen Park police decide not to pick him up for the bench warrant by Thursday, he will be released on a $500 bond. His next court appearance was scheduled for August 7th. Now, the attorney admitted that he should not have been driving that day. It's not a good look. One, you shouldn't be driving when you about to get on a Zoom call anyway. And two, you just shouldn't have been driving. Now, there's some good stuff that came out of this. It says from his attorney, Harris has since paid his reinstatement fee and has an upcoming appointment with the Secretary of State's office to get his learner's permit and ultimately his license, she said. I don't think he need a learner's permit. I think he know how to drive fine enough. He just need to have his license. You can skip the whole learner's permit part, because obviously nobody in his life got a license, because his wife couldn't just drive to the hospital. Who gonna ride with him? Who gonna ride with the grown 44-year-old man? You know what I mean? Like, it don't even matter at this point. Just get that man a license so he can go on his way. Feel bad for him, because again, he got caught up and he got his license taken away from him, quote unquote, because of child support, even though he never had a license, only had an ID. But at the same time, they should tell you, pay your child support. Wrap it up, please. Pay your child support. Don't open your legs, whatever, because child support work both ways. Females can pay child support too. Do what you need to do so you don't get caught up like this man. Man being memed and gooped on all week, and especially with this one picture of it, everybody been using the same picture of this man. It's such a silly picture because he's just so dumbfounded about this. Oh yeah, with that being said, I just want to talk about this little situation. Hopefully everything goes well in his life. He's supposed to have a bond for $500. It seemed like the Allen Park police did not decide to pick him up on Thursday because of that warrant, so he will be released on a $500 bond. So he was in jail for a little bit, but he got a record, but hey, he wasn't in there for too long. But yeah, this is the end of the story of this man's life. Hopefully he has a better life, and hopefully everything go back to normal. But yeah, being your boy T. If you like the video, if you could like, comment, subscribe. It just helps me push my videos out to other individuals like your lovely selves. And yeah, I hope you have a good day. Bye.